Now, yesterday we did tell you about the unfortunate tank explosion, an incident which occurred in Onitsha, Anambra State, which left about 69 people dead. Sadly, we understand that the death toll has climbed to 85, and about 29 others are still in critical condition at various hospitals in the state. Now, just about a day since that unfortunate incident, yet another one has occurred right here in Lagos State. A number of shops and vehicles have been destroyed by a fire after a tanker loaded with fuel veered off a bridge in Yanopaja area of Lagos State and exploded. The fire burnt a line of shops covering over 50 meters by the roadside. And according to the National Emergency Management Agency, also known as NEMA, the incident was reported at about 12:58 a.m. Thankfully, no casualties have been reported in this case. Joining us now via telephone is the Southwest Public Relations Officer for NEMA, Mr. Ibrahim Farinloye. Mr. Farinloye, thank you again for joining us on the program.
Good afternoon, ma. Well done, ma.
Thank you. Now, in 2 days, we've had 3 cases of tanker explosions because you did tell me earlier on today that there was another case in Badagry. And you also mentioned yesterday about potential causes. But could the weather have anything to do with what we're seeing happening so often?
Can you come in again?
I'm asking if the weather has anything to do with this sort of accidents we're seeing involving fuel tankers.
No, it has nothing to do with it at all. We've been having such occurrences every week in different parts of the country. So it's not because of the peculiar situation we are now.
So visibility might not have anything to do with this. Is that what you're saying?
No, it has nothing to do with it.
Okay. Now, this could actually happen to anyone. As drivers and pedestrians, what would you advise us to look out for in order to avoid being victims altogether?
Come in again?
What would you advise us to look out for as drivers, people who drive and pedestrians, people who are walking, to avoid being victims of such cases?
Yes, all of us should be safety conscious. One, the tanker driver needs to be very, very careful and exercise utmost patience while driving. The traffic code section 8 and section 12 stipulates what is supposed to be done by tanker driver, especially when there are smaller vehicles within it. Same safety measure was stated out by the National Highway Code, the building code, whereby buffer zone should be created between the major road and construction before we can construct any structure beside the road. So when we see a trailer, whether it's gently or wrongly, we should try to keep ourselves away and avoid construction of any type of building within the buffer zone or the road shoulders, so that in case if accidents will happen, it will happen and it will not affect much people.
Now, finally, Mr. Farinloye, I'm sorry, we've run out of time, but what can be done to check the state of truck drivers to ensure that they're actually fit enough to be driving to begin with?
The network is bad.
I'm so sorry, I completely understand, but I'm saying what can be done to ensure that truck drivers are actually fit enough to be driving?
Yeah, we've been, the tanker driver, training has been going on within the DPR and various unions of the NUPENG. And on the side of Federal Road Safety Corps and VIOs, others, we have been training them, especially on the way to handle fire extinguishers and all sorts of safety measures in case of emergency. However, what we all usually experience is while driving in the middle of the city centers, most of them hand over their vehicles to driver trainees, while the real driver will go and rest, maybe because of long journey and all those things. So we don't know the real cause and what we can do to continue training them. We will continue doing it. If there are needs for other stakeholders to be involved, we will definitely do it.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Farinley. Thank you for filling us in on those details. Well, one of the things Mr. Farinley did mention is that we should stay away, keep a far distance from truck drivers in order to avoid being victims, because in truth, it could happen to anyone. We'd like to throw this question out to you today. What measures would you prefer to the reduction of road accidents? That's our question for the day. You see it right there on your screen in a moment, and then you can send us feedback. There it is. What measures would you prefer to the reduction of road accidents? You can send us your feedback either via email or Twitter. That's the address and handle right there on your screen. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. I'm Cynthia.